Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining. We were having some technical difficulties where for some reason the stream was not showing up for people, so I restarted it and created a new one. I am hoping that this works better. And now I'm already seeing that there's a problem on my YouTube studio. Anyways, I hope that the video is coming through. Please drop a chat if you can still see and hear me. Hey, thank you all so much for joining. And I do apologize for the delay in getting started. Like I was saying, there was some issues with the tech and things were not showing up the way they should. But in the meantime, we are set. And basically what we're doing today is we are deciding what's going to happen with our giveaway. Now, normally I've been doing drawings and things like that, and it's always great for me to be able to give back to you all who are supporting the channel and watching, especially people who have been watching for years at this point. Commenting, I see, I hear, I did not conquer. Okay, so if you can see and hear, then I assume we're good. What we are doing today is basically, instead of just doing a drawing, I wanted to make it a bit of a game for you all to actually influence who's actually going to win the Mental Athlete Apparel shirt. And so, yes, Ashley Parrish asked, what am I giving away? So Mental Athlete Apparel is a company that I partner with, and they create apparel and designs, and they sell those shirts, sweatshirts, I think we have mugs, all of these different types of things, and donate 15% of all proceeds to nonprofits that are supporting youth mental health. Their mission is to lower the youth suicide rate across the country, and they're doing that through the apparel, doing speaking engagements at schools and different venues to be able to support youth and all of that. Sorry, I was just getting a text from my wife. Yes, so today I am going to be giving away a code for one of their shirts. And so you'll be able to message me on Instagram or my email address after this is over, once we've actually done the game and found our winner, and then I will send you the code. So that is the plan for today. So before we get started with that, I just wanted to show you all that if you watched the NF video that came out today, this is the shirt that I was rocking during that, and our merch store is now open. So let me see if I think I need to pin this item. Yeah, so I'm gonna tag this shirt in the video. Give me a second to find it. So I don't think you can see it very clearly on this video, but it is pink and it's just got the logo in the center. So that is $15. And so I am not giving away one of these shirts. That might be a giveaway later on, maybe during the Christmas season. But yeah, just wanted to let you all know I do love doing these giveaways. Really love being able to give back to you all who support the channel and are watching, subscribing, taking part in these lives. So that's what we're doing today. So basically the way this game is going to work, I'm going to do a series of polls. And here, maybe it'll be easier. Let's see if you can see this. Basically, everyone who has entered into the drawing through the Psychology in Seattle video, if you commented a fire emoji, then you are entered into this drawing. Everyone is assigned a number, kind of Mr. Beast style, right? And then we'll be doing a series of polls where you all will help determine the outcome of who we eliminate and who gets to move on to the next round. Ashley Parrish asked, do I have a TikTok? I technically have a TikTok for this account. I don't create anything on it. I only do it for the purposes of being able to find TikToks to react to. I have been told I should get a TikTok, and I just, I'm not there in terms of content creation and being able to manage 3 different presences on social media. Like, I already do very little with the Instagram. So in that sense, YouTube is my main thing right now, and that's where you're going to get most of the updates from me and most of the content. So yeah, I don't know. If this thing expands to something bigger, I think we could move to TikTok, but that is not in the cards right now. So take the YouTube shorts and re-upload. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I totally could do that. Yeah, it's just another system to learn, and I guess maybe that could be worth it in the long run. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to start our first poll, and it looks like we have 6 viewers, so here's what's going to happen, right? I'm going to give you a prompt, so give me a second as I'm typing, and please bear with the audio stuff as my mic is very sensitive. All right, so all of these numbers that you're going to see are corresponding to one of the numbers on the chart. Singer in the shower, hello, thank you for joining. So go ahead and check out this poll. I hope you all can vote. Okay, so yes, you are picking a multiple of 5, and I'm not going to tell you what we're doing with that multiple of 5 until after the poll is over. So go ahead and enter your vote now, and then we will see what we do with those multiples of 5. So we have 5, 10, 15, and 20. And if you'll notice, we have 25 people entered in this drawing. So choose wisely. All right, I've got 3 votes so far. Are you guys messing with me? Right now we have 3 different choices. I need one person to break a tie. Okay. Now we have 4 people who have all voted separate things. My YouTube says we have 5 viewers, so we need one person to break the tie. I don't know if you all can actually see the results of the poll. Here's what's gonna happen. Can I make a song? Oh gosh. I'm not gonna be singing on camera. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go to a backup option if we don't have a tiebreaker. I'll give you all 5 seconds for one person to choose to change their vote if they like. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So we got 4 votes. Everyone voted something different. Oh, you can't change your votes. That's interesting. Okay. So what was originally going to happen is whichever multiple you all picked, I was going to go to the left and the right of that number. So if you had picked 20, for instance, then we would have removed 19 and 21. But what we're actually going to do now is that we're just going to remove those multiples of 5 from the giveaway. So that means, unfortunately, 5 common T cents. Unfortunately, you're out. 10, Grateful and Loved, out. 15, Kaylin Stacy. And 20, Paolo Ash. So that is our first elimination. We are now down to 21 people in the drawing. So now I'm going to create another poll. And sorry, I didn't realize that you can't change your vote. So I'll move this along a little quicker now. Now you are going to be picking a number between 4, through 6. So either 4, 5, or 6. Fewer options this time. Okay, I've got 2 votes for 4 right now. I think we only have a few more viewers. So I'll give that. Okay, 3 votes. I think that's a majority. So everyone picked 4. And what we are doing with this one is we are removing all multiples of the number 4. So that means 4CLM14T is gone. Number 8, D Torres, eliminated. 12, Spranger Trinker. 16, Lauren in progress. 20 is already gone. And then 24, Bloop E2J. That's unfortunate because Bloop was actually the person who suggested that I work with Dr. Kirk in the first place. So these are our remaining people so far. Next question for you all. Okay. This one is even simpler. Just pick a number, 1 or 2. We are going to see who gets eliminated based on that. I've got 1 vote in already. 2 votes in. Who's getting out this round? 3 votes so far. And I think that's a majority. So I'm going to go ahead and end that. So everyone voted for 2. 100% of people voted for 2. And what we're doing is any remaining person who has the digit 2 in their number is going to be eliminated. So that means number 2, Lorena Koifman. 12 is already gone. 21, Jules 21. 22, Pamela Topjin. 23, Laura Black. And 25, Sansara. So how many people are we down to now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people. We are down to fewer than half. Hey, Tiny Blue. You are still safe right now. You are still in the running. Let me give you a quick rundown of what we're doing. So instead of just doing a random drawing, what we're doing is playing a game. I'm going to put up polls, and you all will vote, and based on what you vote, that determines who we eliminate and who stays. So we are about halfway through right now. We just eliminated a number of people. I don't think it's a psychology magic trick. If anything, it's sociology. They're the ones who like to take a lot of polls. So I am putting up the next poll. Give me a second here to type around my microphone. Sorry, common sense. Okay, pick 0 through 4 or... All right. And I'm not giving you all the context for this. You're just picking 0 through 4 or 5 through 9. Did not conquer. That's okay. There will be further giveaways. Oh, we are still at 50% with 4 votes. Do we have a tiebreaker from somebody? So this is going to be a problem. I don't want to eliminate everybody because right now we're 50-50. What do we do here? How about this? I'm going to split the difference if we don't have a tiebreaker. I think we have enough people that we should have maybe a 3-2 vote or something like that. Can Kitty vote? I don't think he wants to. Can I react to Psych to Go again? While we're waiting for this poll, yes, I can react to Psych to Go again. I had a video in mind where it was one of the personality test kind of videos, so I wanted to react to that. Oh, interesting. Common Sense has an idea. Yeah, so real quick, Psych to Go. Yes, I was actually approached by them to do a collab. I have not heard from them in a little while, so I need to follow up with them. But that is something that we were discussing, so I'll definitely keep you all in the loop as that develops. But for now, yes, I am planning on reacting to them soon. If you have suggestions on which ones you would like me to react to, please go ahead and DM that to me or email me or comment somewhere. Me and my collabs, yeah. It started with you, Tiny Blue. I think you were one of the first collabs that I did. And so, I saw that it worked out pretty well for the channel. So I decided, maybe we should do some more. All right, so I'm going to end the poll. As you all see, it's 50-50. So what I'm going to do is go 3, 4, 5, 6. So what we are doing with that is we are actually eliminating anyone whose numbers end in 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that means Corvidae System, Mind Uncensored, Jackie Wise, and Slater Skinny. I think that covers, right? Anything ending in 3, 4, 5, and 6. So now we're down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. Yeah, for those of you who have watched the collabs, or maybe who have Tiny Blue, I don't know if you've done any collabs since they did the new feature. What does it look like on the collaborator side of things? Because I haven't seen that yet. I don't know. I don't think it shares revenue or anything, but maybe it's just the analytics and it puts that person's name on the video. So I'm not quite sure. I've done the feature, but I've only been the person who owns the video. So I'm not sure how that looks. Please let me know if you happen to know. All right. Well, someone suggested this already, so this was the next one on the list. Odd or even? Oh, okay, just metrics. That's good to know. All right, let's see what we decide here. Even? Okay. So everyone voted even. Oh, the size of the shirt. That is going to be... So basically what's going to happen is you're going to get a code for the Mental Athlete Apparel store. And that is going to be just usable on any item there. So basically you can get whatever size you need. All right. So this was a little twist. So we are actually keeping all of the even numbers. So that, oh my goodness, you all just chose the winner because everyone else was odd numbers. I did not think that would happen. But Kel Butler 9217, congratulations, you have won the giveaway for Mental Athlete Apparel. I don't know if you are in... It's not a psychology trick. It's on the script right here. But yes, Kel Butler, I'll make a post on Instagram. I'll make a post on the YouTube channel. If they happen not to claim it, I'll figure out another way to get a winner. This time it might just be a drawing if they don't claim it within like a week or two. But regardless, Kel Butler, congratulations. And thank you all so much for playing. I hope this was a more engaging way to do a giveaway. I'll try to find ways to streamline that a little better in the future with some of the delay in responses and also the polling. That was, that's something I need to clean up. I gave you all free choices. I just didn't tell you what the implications of those choices were. So, better luck next time. Let me know if there might be some other format that might be a good game to be able to play. Ideally, I would like for it to be more, involving your input, and this is just like a way to be able to interact with you all while doing it. Yeah, exactly. That's what I do to my clients all the time. Well, you chose to do this or do that. So this is very in keeping with what I do throughout the day regardless. So yes, I will do a giveaway of either this shirt or the one that has the logo on the left, I think. So there are two styles in the Therapy Today shop. One has a center logo, one has the one off to the side. And I'll probably do a giveaway of one of those maybe in December. I mean, we did just hit 16,000 subscribers, so thank you all for being a part of that. I really do appreciate it. And I say this every milestone, but it really is a privilege to have so many people be interested in what I have to say and come back for more, honestly. So that's something I don't take lightly, and I really am grateful for that. So much concern about the free will. Okay, well, maybe you all just like the randomness next time. I would love any suggestions on other things to do on live stream, because honestly, on a live stream you don't need me to be talking more, because that's what I do in my videos anyway. So I would love for that to be something that we can do interactively. I'm not quite sure what that would look like yet, but I'd be interested in any ideas that you have. When it comes to doing some games and... What is choosy? I'm learning something tonight. So with that too... Okay, chat's going crazy. I need to look up what this game is now. I am open to suggestions for content as well. I think somebody mentioned Psych2Go earlier. I'm definitely reacting to more of their stuff. I'm open to suggestions on which videos you would like me to react to, topics that you'd like for me to discuss or people to collab with. Somebody mentioned on one of the comments, was it Dr. K from Healthy Gamer GG? He's got a huge channel. Okay, I'll ask you on IG. 2 to 4 hour elimination. Oh no. This may not be a good thing now. Yeah. I mean, it's a similar thought process that went through my mind when I was messaging Dr. Kirk. Also, it's just this person has a huge channel. Why would they want to collaborate with me? But he agreed, and so I'll hold out hope and I'll shoot my shot and see what comes out of that. I am exploring some ideas to be able to do some games with mental health content. There are these videos that YouTubers make with guess the fake whoever, or guess, and then they go through different questions and challenges to try to eliminate either the people who are real and find the fake, or to eliminate the fake people and find the real person. And I've been toying around with the idea of find the fake therapist, or find the person who hasn't been in therapy, and having a team of me and Elijah, who was on the reaction video for World's Toughest Test, Special Forces, right? And us being able to just ask questions, have fun with it, do some challenges, and then see if we can find the real therapist or the fake therapist out of a bunch of real ones. Silent Hill is about mental health. Yeah, I just never got into. If I remember right, Silent Hill is like a psychological horror game, and I just never really got into a lot of those. I enjoy psychological thrillers and reading them, but just like movies and games, I never really got into as much. Um, yeah, Ashley, what is your secret love language on Psych2Go? I think I saw that and I thought like, oh yeah, this is one that I could probably do. So I'll think on it. Again, I'm always open to your comments, DMs, emails, all that's available. I could react to someone playing it. Oh, that's interesting. This is like layers on layers now, because now you guys are watching me watch someone else play the game. That is crazy. Yeah, that's got layers to it. But yeah, so thank you all for being here today. Go check out the NF video if you haven't seen it already. His music, like, he's really doing some cool stuff. And I was just thinking today as I was listening to some of the tracks that like this is a lot less, like, as far as I can tell, electronically produced, in the sense of like his beats are actual like instruments from what I can tell. And that is pretty cool for me, hearing a lot of hip hop that is just like you really clearly tell that a computer was involved in generating a lot of the sound. And I'm sure there's processing and mixing and all of that involved, but it's just cool that you can tell there's some real instruments going on too. And then, he's stretching his range, doing some singing more so than I'm used to hearing from a rapper. So just, yeah, his album's definitely worth checking out. Yeah. Oh, AI psychosis. Yeah, I need to get into that too. I wonder if there are papers written on it already. Citizen Soldier. Is that a game as well? Let me actually switch to I've been on this screen for a long time. I've heard about Citizen Soldier. I need to think about where I heard about it. But these are good suggestions. Let me write some of these down. I have Citizen Soldier, Silent Hill, Psych2Go, Secret Love Language. You know what I should do? I should do the video and then have my wife do the video and see if we get the same answer. Oh, Citizen Soldier makes music. Christy, thanks for joining the live stream. We've already done the game for the drawing, but we're just talking now about different content ideas. Oh, Maryland prison system doing group rehab. %23% compared to the national of 84%. That's like recidivism rate? That would be really wild if it makes that much difference. Because honestly, like, a lot of therapists tend to get out of the group setting because just like groups are a lot of work. Like, you have to manage the interpersonal relationships as well as planning out like basically, yeah, like what you're gonna do with the group, and then you have to navigate some like surprises. And like individual, you have like one person who could potentially bring in a surprise thing, but then like you have a group, you have like 6 to 10 people who could drop a bomb on your session. Citizen Soldier. Okay, I'll check that out. So yeah, so much love and respect to the people who do groups though, because they are effective, and I think people just don't enjoy them as much because the attention's not all on them all the time. But yes, groups can be super helpful, and they have a great place in a lot of work, particularly in DBT, where the actual course is supposed to involve group skill work. So yeah, groups are great, and I can definitely look into that article. In terms of the Psych to Go thing, I was thinking if I take the quiz and I have my wife take the quiz like from my perspective and see if we get the same result, I think that would be interesting. Vlogmas. Tiny Blue, I think you are much more of an influencer and YouTuber than I am, because I don't know what that is. So yes, please feel free to DM me and let me know all of these things that I should know but don't. Best type of therapy for anxiety. Okay. Yeah, I can definitely answer that. Well, not definitively answer, but I can tell you my approach. How about that? In terms of anxiety, I typically try to assess, after we're assuming that somebody is coming in with a diagnosis of anxiety, or I've diagnosed them with that. Oh, pet related content. You don't even know. Oh, pet related content was probably the only reason my channel grew in the first place. Say hi, kitty. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so he'll chill out here for a second until he gets tired of it. Yes. So what I try to assess after the diagnosis of anxiety is that whether their anxiety is really like body-based, whether they experience a lot of physical tension and difficulty with like heart rate, breathing, all these things, or whether it's more cognitively based, like are they running thoughts through in their heads and they can't stop, and it's just like something that's gnawing at them and they can't let it go, or it's affecting their sleep. Right? All of these things that I'll try to assess for. And sometimes, people have a combination of the two. But I'll either use CBT if it's primarily like cognitive based, or I'll use kind of mindfulness and body based relaxation skills to help people activate their parasympathetic nervous system. So for those of you who aren't as familiar with that terminology, like our nervous system have this parasympathetic and sympathetic side to them. The sympathetic side is activating when we engage our fight or flight responses, what increases the heart rate, causes us to breathe shorter or faster, tenses our muscles, all these things. And then these mindfulness and, yes, kitty, these relaxation exercises help us to engage the parasympathetic nervous system, which we can think of as the off switch. And so for a lot of my clients, they've just been in a stressed state for so long that they don't know how to activate that switch anymore. And that can be really powerful for us to be able to learn those tools and be able to use them consistently, that they can just allow their bodies to be at rest and then be able to feel better. And then their thoughts will often follow that. And so what I found is that most clients respond really well to one of those two approaches. Some of them can kind of think their way and reason their way through their anxiety, and some people want to have kind of the body-based relaxation. In either case, the result is either you kind of cognitively work your way through the anxious thoughts and then your body can relax, or your body can relax and then that allows your thoughts to kind of let go as well. So those are the two approaches that I typically take when it comes to anxiety. Of course, we have to figure out whether it's related to trauma, which in that case we have some extra work to do on the side. But I'll still start with some of these skills so that we can have some short-term acute relief while working on kind of the long-term issues. Okay, sorry, I need to catch up on comments a little bit. Another concern, therapy emotional pets that are not specifically trained in the public may impact certified animals. Lack of pet training could damage a certified animal. This is definitely something that I have thought of in terms of the emotional support animals, and I get like having them with you like in a apartment or something, or campus housing, having a pet or an emotional support animal, and I can write those letters as a licensed clinician. But the training really does need to be brought up. I think the net is a little too broad right now in terms of emotional support animals being able to access a lot of the same spaces that trained service animals can. And you're right, I think a lot of these animals are not going through any particular training for emotional support. They're just, they're there, and they provide a lot of value in helping someone feel comfortable in spaces. But that could also be disruptive to other people. I think of like if you've got a cat in a dorm, for example, what if a hallmate is allergic? But now you have this letter saying, oh, the cat can be here. So yeah, I just kind of think of those. But yeah, the interaction with like public spaces and emotional support animals is a tricky one. Oh man, I need to catch up on comments. What if someone has depression and PTSD and drug use disorder? Do you solve all at once or one at a time? Yes and no. The reason I say that is because comorbidity, which is having these different conditions at the same time, a lot of times it can be rooted in one or the other. So what I mean by that is if someone has trauma in their past and has PTSD symptoms, well, a lot of PTSD symptoms also overlap with depressive symptoms. So you could make an argument that if someone is depressed and has trauma, that that could be underneath the PTSD umbrella. And then a lot of times they'll use drugs to be able to cope with the difficult emotions. We see that a lot. Or it could be that someone's substance use has led to depressive symptoms, or maybe they're like that when they're withdrawing. And so, in a sense, yes, that like I'm going to use kind of crude language, if you fix one, a lot of times the other ones will also get better. But sometimes there are also discrete conditions that we need to kind of have different focus on at different times. Yeah, I do think common sense. So as we're talking about the emotional support animals, that yeah, it does mix up the terminology. I think people tend to have the impression that emotional support animals have some kind of training when most likely they don't. And then yeah, that could definitely hurt the impressions that people have of those kinds of animals. How about adult ADHD learning to schedule their day and time management? Oh yeah, this is a tricky one. Like I've got a lot of clients now who are realizing in adulthood that they have ADHD because in school it just didn't fit kind of the narrow definition of what people thought ADHD was. And so it's definitely skills that are helpful to develop. And I think what's helpful in adulthood is that assuming you're in a career and all of that, that you have a lot more freedom to decide what that system is going to look like. You're not stuck as much to someone else's schedule like you are in school, where it's sit here for 7 hours. You might have a break to move around for lunch and recess and all of that. So that is something I do work with people on. And hi. And yeah, it's just sometimes like not assuming that people have these skills just because they're a certain age. And this is not to sound like I'm condescending or anything. It's just that sometimes people have not been in a situation where they've had the freedom to come up with their own scheduling and the way to do things. And now they do, and they don't know what to do with that. Okay. Let me see. Saw an incident recently. A larger dog grew interested with a smaller dog. That smaller dog became aggressive and the woman almost ran into me. Oh. Yeah, that's what I would be concerned about with emotional support animals, especially being in like indoor spaces too, where they might not be as used to that. It's unfamiliar. Yeah, definitely tricky to navigate. The only thing that's good about having your animal registered as an emotional support animal is your landlord cannot keep you from having your pet or charge rent. Yeah, funny story. One of the first people that I heard from when I first got licensed was my wife's aunt, I believe. And we didn't have much of a relationship at all, but she heard that I was a licensed clinician. She wanted me to write her an emotional support animal letter for her dog so she could take it on a flight to wherever she was traveling. I didn't end up writing it because I have to, be seeing her, assessing her, and actually be able to attest to that she has a diagnosis and that the dog would be helpful for her. But I thought that was interesting. That was one of the first interactions I had as a licensed professional. Yeah, I think the not quite debate, but the conversation between Christy and Common Sense is basically my tension with emotional support animals. Is that, like, yes, they have a lot of privileges, and I think that's helpful for people in terms of residency and all of that stuff, so you don't get charged extra. But then, yeah, in public spaces, that does get dicey sometimes when they don't have that extra training. And so I would really say have it be on a lot of the owners to be responsible with that and not take advantage of the system, or else you're going to end up okay, Kitty's done. Or else you're going to end up with them having to create more rules around that and restricting it by rule and legislation rather than us being able to exercise good judgment. Yeah, I think I think most cat owners are understanding that their pets are not likely to do well in public spaces, and I think that's like most cats anyway. But yeah, I think it's for like the dogs. I don't think I've ever seen any emotional support like birds or reptiles, but I'm sure those exist too. Yeah, and Common Sense, I appreciate like the liability stuff is a real thing. Um, yeah, I would just hate to be in a situation where a support animal that I had freaked out and like caused someone to get hurt. Like, on top of the liability piece, like that's just a bad feeling. So this is interesting. Maybe we just need to make a video about emotional support animals, because that was something that was definitely not covered in grad school. That like we can write these letters and like what are the implications of that? How to do that well? How to do that responsibly? Because like there are companies out there that basically have licensed clinicians on staff to be able to see somebody for a couple minutes, give them a diagnosis, and write them an emotional support letter and have a business running off of that. And just discussing the ethics of that, I'm going to write that down. That's an interesting topic. Emotional support hamster. That's something. Yeah, because I have written these letters for existing clients. I have not taken on a client solely for the purpose of them getting an emotional support animal letter or certification or registration, whatever you want to call it. But for someone that I've been seeing already and they say, hey, can you write a letter? Yes, I've been willing to do that. And, subject to their particular diagnosis meeting the criteria and need for an emotional support animal. Insurance exposure liability questions. Okay, well, thank you for offering that. I do appreciate that. Wait. The owner proceeded to flush her hamster down the toilet to avoid missing her flight. That took a turn. I was not ready for that. That sounds pretty terrible. But yeah, man, what does that say about like the emotional support or like the mutual obligation between like an owner and a pet, and let alone like owner and emotional support? I think that could be an interesting thing to touch on too, like the relationship of like if you are getting an animal solely for the emotional support, and maybe there's a lower sense of responsibility to that animal because you got it specifically for it to be a support for you, instead of it being a pet first. That, like, man, poor problem solving skills, I'll say. Out of all of the options that you could have had, like, flushing it down the toilet was not on my bingo card. But yeah, well, I appreciate you all's dialogue. I think this is really something that I could explore and talk about a little bit. But yeah, again, the reason we were here was for the giveaway. So again, congratulations to Kel Butler. Yeah, I would think like there's some kind of mutual obligation here. But yes, please check out mentalathleteapparel.com. Please check out the Therapy Today store. Right now there's a promotion for free shipping, I think $30 or more. But we'll also have some discounts for Black Friday, for the Christmas shopping season. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me on this live stream today. Again, feel free to DM me any suggestions for content and videos in the future, ways to spice up or liven up a live stream too. I love doing these live streams. I just don't have enough concrete ideas to actionably do something about that. The creepy panda thing. Yeah, our kids actually do enjoy it, and some of them, well, they will take turns, I think, using it. So it has worked out decently well. But yes, feel free to check that out too. All right. Thank you all so much for coming out tonight. I appreciate it. Have a good night.